Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Betty here. Tonight I'm just in my craft room and I was doing a little bit of cleaning up. You know, that's something that whenever you're doing a craft, I don't know how half the stuff gets where it is on the floor, you name it. But I have a drawer down below that I normally put all of my scrap pieces of paper in. And then once a week, once every 2 weeks, just whenever the drawer gets to where it won't shut, then I kind of go through it and I pull out all of the scraps. And now, mind you, I had scraps in there that obviously was not really able to be used for anything, but I did pull out this pile of scraps here. And some of this is just like this paper here was something I had printed on, and my printer was running out of ink, so you see how it's done. But I'm not going to throw it away because it's got good colors on it and I'll definitely end up using it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some tags and some little cards and stuff, and I'm going to use my scrapbook paper or my scrap pieces of paper to do that. This is one that I done this afternoon in just a few minutes when I got home. It's actually this little index card dividers, and I got these off of Amazon, and I can link them below. They were not expensive at all for like a box of 100, and they make amazing cards. Like I said, this is one I done this afternoon. I just put a focal point on the front, and then I still have, you know, need to decorate the back, but I'm just going to kind of wait to see what I want to put on the back, depending on the journal that I put it in, because I may put it in a vintage journal and I want to do something more vintage, or I may put it in a shabby chic journal and want to do something a little bit more shabby chic. Another little thing that I wanted to show you, and this may be old news to some of you guys, but to me it was new, and it was just like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe I didn't know that before now. You know, a lot of times whenever we are doing the journal cards and stuff, we need something to be able to write on the back of it. And this right here is a lifesaver. It's just a piece of corrugated cardboard, and I was trying to find the other things that I got, another set, just like these were some little, this is actually what come on it, the little chalkboard hearts I got them at Michael's. And they were attached to this little piece of corrugated cardboard here. So let me show you my little trick. And this is the easiest thing. I just take my ink, whether it be the Distress Oxide, the Stay Zone, whatever it is, and I just rub it over that cardboard. Check this out. Just make sure it's pressed down good. Check it out. Can you believe that? I mean, and I done it very quickly, but you know what? You know, you can do that on the back of something, and you have journaling space, and it doesn't cost anything. It came with my little chalkboard hearts, so that was pretty cool. It may not be that great to some of you guys, but that was like a life changer to me. So all I'm gonna do is, in doing the collage pages like this, and this is hard for me, the biggest thing is not think about it, because if you think about it, you'll overthink it and you'll just end up stressing out. And collage, and it's mainly meant to be fun. I do want to try and stay in the same color schemes, you know, just so I'm not like putting something crazy colors that totally clash, which in junk journaling there's no rules, so everything kind of goes together. But just, you know, for my peace of mind, I'm gonna just go with something that's well, there we go, there went my tacky glue. Normally when I'm doing my journals, I like to use Fabri-Tac or the Aleene's fast grab tacky glue. Those are normally my glue of choice for something like that. But today, with me doing this, I'm just gonna use it's similar to art glitter glue, but it's called Barely Art, and it's good glue. I seem to like it. And I keep forgetting that it comes with a cap that you can like screw on whenever you're done for the day, but oh well. Because probably what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to end up sewing around mine, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to use my, if it's working. So because I didn't put the lid back on it, even though I had the pin in it, I just need to clean it a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. I should have done all this off camera before I pulled you guys on, but so I'm just gonna put some glue on this and make sure that, you know, I'm getting the edges especially. You know what, we may end up going on my art glitter glue because this is making me mad. Yeah, see the tips just kind of, all of it unscrews, and but I don't know why it's not coming out, because it's had the pin in it the entire time. Well, that might be part of it. It's always something, isn't it? Anytime you go to do a video, you know something has to mess up. That's just, it's not gonna work any other way. All right, I thought he was boss hoss. I told you you'd listen to me. Yeah, right. So I'm just getting it good and glued. And again, don't think about it. But I do kind of, since it does have words on it, I do want them going the right way. That's the only thing that I'd say to really like pay attention to. Otherwise, don't stress over it. So apparently I'm going with a kind of a pink colored theme, and so now I just want to find some more stuff that'll kind of match it. And you don't even have to cut anything, just tear it. That, you know, it gives it more personality. And then if you don't like the torn edges, whenever you go to put the other stuff on top, you can cover those torn edges, you know, with how I did with the boot and the little bow on the other one. The reason that's already on there is because I messed up on that and I didn't like it. And so I was like, you know what, I'll just cover it. And so I'm just pulling pieces out. Like I said, I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just more or less just making sure that it's, trying to make sure that it's kind of in the same color scheme. That as far as to actually think about it and figure out what I'm gonna get, I'm not really doing that. Because that kind of just takes the fun of it away, because you really want to just have fun. And me and this glue are not going to get along tonight. So before I even make y'all have to sit through this of me fighting with my glue, forget it. We're just gonna use some Fabri-Tac for now. But the joy of this, it's mindless crafting, I guess you could say. You know, in the job that I'm in, I have to think all day long. And at the end of the night, I really don't want to do any more thinking than what I have to. I'm tired, I'm exhausted. And so that's when I come in here to my craft room, and especially when I'm doing the collage pages or collage tags or cards, I don't even have to really put much thought process into it. I can just sit down and enjoy doing this without even stressing. I'm not like even thinking. I mean, I know it may sound weird, but you don't have to. Because with these, if you do start thinking, you will overthink and you will end up with something you're not very happy with. I mean, like this was a piece of, it was a scrapbook paper. I didn't need all of it in the project that I was working on. And so I just kind of put it down there in that drawer. But it's been down there for a while and I haven't went back to it. I mean, it's a big enough piece that I probably could have done something different with it, but it's been sitting down there and I have not used it. So I guess it would be safe to say that I'm probably not going to use it. When it's been sitting that long, there's no sense even trying to keep it. So may as well put it to some good use and make some tags or collage papers or, you know, something like that with it. You know, and if you have a piece of paper that by itself you're not really impressed with, that you don't really like, that's fine. Take and put it with a collage. You'd be surprised. You may actually really like that paper in the collage. And there's several that I use that are kind of like that, you know, just thinking about them, I would not have liked them. But when I put them in the collage, I actually love the papers. So that's one thing you can do. I don't even know what this is from. I mean, but it was down there in my little scrap pile. So you know what? I'm going to use it. Now I just have like 2 little areas that I need to cover. And again, I don't really want to think about it. But at the same time, I don't want to just go throwing something on it. So I'm just kind of looking to see if I have anything that's halfway in the color scheme. You know what? This works. It's not it's white. Almost looks like knitting or something. And this will work just fine right there in those spots. And I'm just gonna put it right there to cover that little area up. And I have one more small area that I need to cover. Actually 2, I lied. I have the little tag part that I want to cover. And it's almost like a patchwork quilt that you're doing. I mean, you're just piecing stuff together to get it the way that you want it and like, and it's just like how when my kids were growing up, I used to do a lot of crochet blankets and stuff for them. And when you're making those blankets, I don't know if you've ever crocheted before, but whenever you're making them and you get to, you know, you're getting close to changing colors or something, it doesn't matter how, you know, how much yarn is still left. If you're not going to be able to finish that yarn in that color, then you just kind of lose that little bit of yarn. And so what I would do was just take those bits and pieces of the yarn that was left over, and I would just throw them in a little bucket or a little bag or bin or something, and I would just hang on to them. And then every so often, I would just pull every bit of that yarn out, and I would just start crocheting. And whenever one piece of yarn, color of yarn ended, I didn't care if I was in the middle of a row. I didn't care where I was at on the thing. I would just tie the next color on and keep on going. And I called it my ugly blanket because it was just, it really was ugly. But those ended up being my children's most favorite blankets. And I don't have a single ugly blanket left because them little rats, when they got married, they took them all. So right now I'm just going on the other side of that index card, and I'm just trimming off any of the paper that was left hanging over from that front side. And it's just, I mean, you don't have to even do that. But I, you know, whenever I was laying the paper down, I just kind of made sure that it went over a little bit, just to make sure that I had everything covered good. And so that's all I'm doing right now, or trying to do. Now, this one is done. Now, it needs a focal point on it for sure, but I don't know if I want to put a focal point on it tonight because I don't know what journal it's going to go into. So I may just leave it blank without the focal point, because I can come back in and add the focal point at a different time. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish up this other side here and get it done. And that will mean I have one more card done. And again, same thing as with the front side. And because, you know, and you don't even have to do the back side, because you can actually glue it on 3 sides into one of your journals and make it into a pocket. Or you can, you know, glue 2 sides and make it into a tuck. You can glue it all the way down. But I'm thinking that I might possibly want this to be something where I can just put it in a journal and take it out. And so, since I don't know for sure what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to go ahead and do both sides. And again, this is just scraps of paper from different projects that I had left over that I probably would have never used, you know, except for something like this. So I'm saving the paper, I'm saving the landfills, because I'm recycling, I'm upcycling. That's what we're going to call it. I'm upcycling. And I'm just putting them down, and you know, they don't have to be in any particular order or direction or anything like that. I'm just having fun, you know, chatting and doing a little bit of the crafts, and just trying to get some of that on. You see my printer went crazy. But as a crafter, we don't throw stuff away. I think it would kill me if I'd thrown that piece of paper away. So I am just, like I said, I'm just going through and picking out little bits and pieces that have a little bit of the same colors in them. And I'm just going through and putting it down. And that's the fun part of a junk journal, is there's really no rules. It doesn't matter how many pages you put in it. It doesn't matter what kind of pages you put in it. It doesn't matter if they have flips or pockets or tucks, or, you know, the sky is the limit when it comes to your junk journal. You can do anything in it that you want to do. And you know, I get in different moods whenever I'm crafting. There's some days where I want to just like embellish everything, and I want everything to be as tricked out with as many pockets and flips and tucks as you can possibly put. And then there's other days I am like a minimalist. I just want simple, nothing spectacular. I just want it kind of plain almost. So that's the one good thing with a junk journal, is it doesn't matter what mood you're in. With a junk journal, one page can be all tricked out and souped up, as you know, my boys have done their vehicles, or it can be and you turn the page and the next page is very minimalist, and it's all okay in junk journaling. You can do that, you know. So that's the one of the things that I love about a junk journal. It's just the fact that I can just enjoy it and not have to stress and worry. Oh, that's pretty. I can just add the stuff, and look at me, I'm gonna throw everything down. But I can just add all of the stuff and however I want to and however I'm feeling, and it's all okay. So that is one of the beauties of it. crafting is my stress reliever. I work a very stressful job during the week. Very stressful job. And there's times that I need to be able to come home and just do some mindless crafting and just forget about my day, forget about the job, and just enjoy not having to think. So again, I'm just turning it over. I'm going to the other side, and I'm doing just like I did on that front side. I'm just kind of trimming everything up to get it nice and even. I'm gonna let that top thing dry just a bit because that's where I just glued. There we go. Just get it all straightened up. And so now we have the second side done. So what you can do, and let me see if I can get some of my embellishments. And this is how I store my embellishments, y'all. Don't make, this is one of the things. And I just have them, this is a CD case, and these are the clear CD labels, and I just have all of my embellishments in there, and I have them labeled. And so I can just kind of go through and pick out, I can see what I have and see what I want to put. Do I want to go with a number? Maybe. Do I have any numbers that I might like? I bet I do. But I have it in tags. I have roses, and you know, I just have it to where I can kind of get to everything. It makes it very easy. Okay, I think I'm gonna put one of those roses on it, maybe. Let me see if there's something else up here. Let me grab this bundle too. Yeah, that's how I keep all of my like mini ephemera and embellishments and stuff, is I keep it in there just so that I can have access to it pretty quickly. Now, here comes the fun part, is me deciding where I want to put the stuff and what I want. And we just want to mainly put a focal point on here. I don't want to go putting too much on here, although I could. But I don't need a lot of stuff on here. So I think what I may do, if I can find my ink, I may just ink this up and put this on there a little bit. And I just like inking because it kind of gives it a little bit more of a vintage feel. It covers up any of that stark white that you might see. And I'll go back through and ink around the edges of the card too. I'll show you that if I have time. Where am I at on time? Yeah, I'm okay. So I think I'm just going to put this right there in that corner. Just kind of going to do it up like that. And then I think I'm going to take this rose and kind of put it down here on the bottom corner. And these are darker colors than what I actually used in the collage. So it really has great contrast. And I do like that. But you kind of see that the background is a little washed out. So what I'm going to do is just ink around the edges. You can see right here that I didn't get this trimmed completely well. Okay. So I'm just going to ink around the edges a little bit. And now you could round your corners if you wanted to. You could do the like the scallops on it, the real fancy type hole punch or paper punch. You know, you can leave them square like I am on this one. You can do anything like that. Now, this is the other thing that I do like to do. I just kind of take my brush and I just lightly go over. And as you can see, the edges of the different papers are picking up the ink off of my brush. And so it'll really pull those out and show you where each one starts and ends. And it just gives it a little bit more definition and character. It's not something you have to do. It's just one of the things that I particularly like. So for the most part, we're going to call this one done. I still have the back that needs to be done, but again, I'm going to wait because I don't know what journal it's going to be put into. You can do it to tags like this. You can, you know, make your own tags and then collage them the same way you've done this. You can do envelopes this way, anything, just a piece of paper. It just kind of gets rid of your scraps and it gives you something good to work with and put in your journal. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up on the video, and hit the little bell so that if I, you know, when I submitted, I can't even talk, when I upload another video, you'll get notification. And I will leave some links below to some of the stuff that I've used and stuff that I enjoy using. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, here's two of the pockets here. You guys have a wonderful week.